So this is my fabric. You can use a used fabric since you are still practicing, and if you have the money you can get a new fabric in as much as it is enough for what you want to cut. So I'll be cutting a skirt using the measurement I took earlier on. You double your fabric. You don't have to necessarily double it equally. What matters is in as much as it is okay for the measurement you need. So, and the biggest part of the measurement is the hips. So for this person, her hips is 38. 38 divided by 2 is what? That's 19. So 19 divided by 2 again, that's what? 9.5. Okay, that's 9.5. So you make this measurement 9.5. Okay. Plus extra allowance for sewing. You have to put extra allowance. So I'm going to make mine 11 because of extra sewing allowance. So this is the biggest part. So we can now start our measurement since we've gotten the biggest part to fold our clothes. So you can see my clothes is not folded equally. So our length is 19. I'm going to cut out our length from this clothes. So this is 19, but plus sewing allowance to put in the waist and the lower part, I'm going to make it 20.5. So I'm going to draw out 20.5. To get a proper measurement, you can always measure back to back to get your accurate length. So one part is no longer than the other. So I'm going to take 19 here. 20.5 rather. 20.5 here. And I'm going to take 20.5 too. Yeah. Then I'm going to take 20.5 here too. And I'm going to take 20.5 here. Then I'll drill it out. I'll join the angles together, the line I drew, to make it straight. So this is 20.5. Then we'll take our waist measurement. Our waist measurement is 28.5. So that's 14 divided by 2 is 14. Let's say 14.5. Then 14.5 divided by 2, that's like 7 points. Let's just say 7.2. So for extra sewing allowance, would make it 8.5 because it will still have that. I'll show you what a dart looks like. So we'll make it 8.5. This is 8.5 here. I'll put my mark there. Then for our lower waist is 31. The measurement between the upper waist and the lower waist is around 3. So I'll take 3 inches off and measure our lower waist. Our lower waist is 31. So that's 15 in 4 places. That's 7.5 plus sewing allowance can make it no, that's 8. Let's make it 7.5. Then plus sewing allowance can make it 8.5 too. So we have this from here. Then the hips measurement, the length of our waist to our hips is 8. Don't forget, we took the measurement earlier. So this is 8 here. So from 8 we can have our hips measurement, which is 38. So let's say that's 9 plus sewing allowance. Let's say that's 10. That's 40. So we have this. Then beneath our hips is 44. The measurement from hips to beneath the hips shouldn't be more than 4 inches too. And we have 34. Okay, 34 divided by 2 is what? 17. 17 divided by 2 gives us 8.5. Okay, so we have 8.5 plus sewing allowance, make it 9. And you can take that 9 down to where the length of your skirt is. So you make the lines join together. So this is what we have here. Then we are going to cut this out. I'm trying to use my chalk to define it better. Then we are going to cut this out. But before we cut this out, we are going to put that here. So you can always check out the dart measurements. To get your dart measurement, the way this is, this is 8.5. So we are going to use the center of 8.5, which is like 4 and some inches, not necessarily half, which is here. And the length for a dart is usually 4, but some people make theirs 5. You bring it down here, then you draw a line. So you make a V shape slightly. So your machine would hold this and this together. Then the last thing to take note is when making your skirts, to make the waist part very firm, especially the front of your stomach, you have to cut out 2.5 inches off the normal part. So let me take it like this. So this is from here to this place, this is 2 inches, rather this is 2 inches. So from this place where your pattern is being sketched, this side, this other side, you slant your ruler. There are rulers to use, you don't have to necessarily use a stick. They sell rulers for cutting. I think it's a piece, I don't know how much they sell it, to make your hand even straight. So you take it from here down to where the 2 inches is. You make it, it gives you a slant shape. You draw it out like this. You have something like this. It makes the tummy part very firm. So I have this, and I'm going to cut out my sketched pattern. Please give me a very sharp scissors. Yes. Okay. So you cut it out.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, sir.
I'm cutting out my pattern that was sketched. Just follow what you already cut out, in as much as you have your accurate measurements. So we have this. So this is what we have, something like this. For the front part, you're going to use this exact pattern to cut out your back measurement. Sorry, this place looks so extra. Let me give it a slight trimming. So you cut out the same pattern, cut out the back, I'll just show you the slight difference between the back cutting and the front cutting. Don't forget this is a used material I'm using. You can use a new one if you want to. So you double it as usual. It does not have to be doubled equal like I stated, in as much as it is enough for your measurements. So the difference between the back and the front is you need to put probably up to 2 inches extra at the back here for skirt and for zip allowance and slits, for people that want to put slits in their skirts. If you want to put zip and the slit, so you have to make the back one 2 inches extra than the one in front. That is what it is for. But you cut out the same pattern in front. So I'll lay it. I've gotten what I want. And then I'm just going to cut out the same pattern. I'm trying to not to waste my fabric, so I'm trying to make sure I don't waste extra. Yes, so we have it. So you just cut out your pattern. Don't forget, you make this place 2 inches extra or 1.5, but basically 2 inches is what is best because of the things you'll be taking in. So when you have this, just cut out your pattern. The same thing, aside these 2 inches. That's the difference between the back and the front. So I'll cut out. So we have the back and the front already. So another thing I'm going to do is to put lining on my clothes to make it firm. I'm going to show you how to cut the lining to your clothes now. So I want to attach lining to my clothes. I'm going to explain how to put the lining. You can get your lining, any type of lining you want to use. So you lay your lining equally with your clothes. The only difference is that you make the length of the lining a bit shorter than your fabric, because that is what you use in turning it. When I want to sew, I will show you how to turn it. So if I place my fabric like this, it's equal to this now. I'm just going to make the lining a bit shorter to the length I already proposed. I said I wanted to sew the length 19 and I measured 20. So I'm going to take up the inches from the lining so it will be balanced. I'll take up the inches from the lining. So now my fabric is longer than my lining to the length I want to take in when sewing. Then you cut out exact design you made. Just cut it out. same would be done to the back, and that's how you achieve your lining being cut. Exact same, but the difference is the fabric will be a bit longer than the lining to get the exact measurement you want.